Oh, hi, people of the world. Humble Life, the journey continues. And today I'd like to share with you a few different kind of things about, how Colombia actually works, what a difference the economy is. In general, I think it's 4 times cheaper than the UK for everything, but generally if I'm trying to spend whatever in the UK, here it's 4 times cheaper. But then you make the comparison of what people are actually paid here, which is, on average, they're probably paid 10 times less than you are in the UK. So how does that really work? The economy is 4 times cheaper, but you're being paid 10 times less. So, I'm doing some work here. I'm really happy. You don't get paid a lot because of that economy kind of change. But if I was to tell you that the average person in Colombia earns literally 25 mil peso a day, which is about £5 for a 10 or 12-hour day. That gives you some kind of comparison. Now I'm doing some construction work here with my own tools. I'm literally charging, 75, 80 mil pesos a day, which is equivalent to 15 to 16 pounds a day. The same work in the UK, you charge between £200 and £300 a day. Here, I'm getting 3 times the average wage of a Colombian. So is that really humble life? The average Colombian, granted, doesn't have a full set of tools. The general tools are pretty basic. They tend to have a cordie drill and a cordie grinder. And the grinder is used for everything, cutting wood, cutting metal, everything. And you can understand why, because I've been using, you don't have, it's not like lots of pine and stuff here. If you get a piece of 2x2, a piece of 3x2, it tends to be mahogany. It tends to be some seriously hard wood. It's making my tools work really hard. You're going through jigsaw blades and God knows what in abundance, because it's making your tools work really hard, put a lot of strain on them, but you rarely see a straight piece of wood, and that is what it is. Everyone understands what you've got, what you use, and most things, they're not really bothered about the aesthetic look of it. They're really bothered about functionality. Does it function? Does it work? It doesn't matter if it's a little warped. It doesn't matter if it's a little bent. Does it actually do what it's supposed to do when you finish the job? So I've got a couple of other equivalents here today. So my bills come through. I rent a house, and it's probably about £180 a month, all in. So I pay the bills, I pay the gas, I pay the electric. You don't have water pipes in, so you fill up a 6,000 litre tank, probably about once every 6 weeks, costs £10 every 6 weeks. I paid my gas bill today. So why is gas so cheap here compared to the UK? I paid my gas bill today, and it's £1 a month, every month. That's £12 for the year. I paid my electric bill yesterday. I don't know why the electric's dearer than the gas. Obviously you don't have air conditioning, you don't have gas central heating. I haven't got air conditioning, but that probably eats up the bill more. My electric probably tends to work out around £15 a month. So on average that's what, £180 a year. So for your gas and your electric and your water for the whole year in Colombia, it's probably about 250 quid. You know how much you're paying for bills back in the UK, so you can understand that things are different. Some food here is a lot dearer than other things, but in general, you're earning a lot less money, so we'll be going off to Panama very soon. I'll be doing a few more videos on that as it happens. You do get paid a lot more there. It's under the American dollar. It costs more to live. But even an apartment there I was getting before for like between $300 and $400 a month. So it's still, but you can earn, $100, $150 a day in construction. I was doing shows musically, playing you get $100 for a 1 hour set. You always get food thrown in with that. You get a couple of free drinks thrown into. They do look after you that way. I'll be telling you more about that project as it happens, but it's an exciting project on a little island in the Caribbean, very similar to Colombia, but the water is super clean, lots of dolphins, lots of starfish, so lots of exciting things to do. I know people might, I'm happy. People might think I'm crazy working for £15 a day, but that's all relative to where I am. Does that mean I'm still humble because I'm charging twice the amount of the average Colombian? I try to remain humble at all times, as and where I can. I do a lot of this work for free. I have been trying to set up a GoFundMe page the last few days with no success, been coming up with an error message. I've seen a couple of alternatives I'll look at tonight, which is, well, I forget a couple of names, but there's 2 or 3 alternatives. I'll see if I can get hold of them. It was a suggestion from a nice guy I really like spending time here with, usually catch up in the mornings. My good friend from Ohio, Ralph, also known as Rafa here, always a great conversationalist and always interested to talk to. And he suggested, why don't you set up a GoFundMe page? He knows, he's been here since in the early days. He's seen me talk about and promote Humblelife. And he said, why don't you, ask for a GoFundMe page, see if people can help the cause, knowing that I do a lot of things here for nothing or next to nothing. The actual lady I'm working for, she wouldn't like, she's not on social media, she's an old lady now, but not that makes any difference, but she recently went through an incident where she went to a cash point in town, one she always uses, and someone had rigged the cash point, and she's there 5 minutes, couldn't get her money out. A guy came up to assist, and in that moment transferred whatever card and everything else. The next thing she knows, it's cleared out of account, cleared out, 12 million plus pesos, which is probably about 2.5 grand. A lot of money out here. And that's the lady I'm helping. So, if I thought about trying to set up a GoFundMe page to see if we can. She's been in touch with the police. It's highly unlikely she's going to be able to retrieve that money. I just thought it might be a possibility, I know people are going through hard times back in the UK and elsewhere in the world with the kind of people I've met, but it's a possibility, people have got a small amount to donate, £1, £10, whatever it might be. It can all help. So maybe I'm just trying something, see if it works, and if it does come through, and a little GoFundMe page kind of opens up, I can maybe try and raise a few funds to give back to this lady to help her in a time of need. Obviously she's got a little bit of money still, but she's paying me to do this work. I'm happy. I'm happy doing what I'm doing for that minimal amount. It's, I'm sitting in the Caribbean Sea, for God's sake. I'm literally 20 metres from the house I'm working at most of the day. I do a little bit of work, come back, you sit in the sea, and you have a little break, and, things could be worse. Obviously, life and the transitions I've made in my life were to just try to live a life where ultimately you can be happy every day. This is a big part of Humblelife. It's about once you have that time, being able to give it to others, but generally in your own life, it's about trying to be happy, trying to be as happy as you can. Free from some of the stresses of the world, obviously liberating yourself from a lot of those material things helps you focus really on what you truly want. And for me, I can't say that there's anything nicer than coming down to the Caribbean Sea every morning for a swim. It's probably about 5:15 p.m. here. Sunset time, sunset will be happening in the next 45 minutes or so. Always a beautiful spectacle every night. Every night the sky is different. Every sunset, I've I will be doing a series of pictures just on sunsets because they're just magical. So a little insight to the economies, respective economies worldwide, respective, you go to Medellin and it's a sprawling metropolis, and you wouldn't think it was, other parts of Colombia are like a third world country, and people live really hand to mouth, but they do have a sense of optimism, and they are very humble people, and that humility and optimism combined is an infectious quality, and it takes you over and it wraps itself around you, and I'm happy to be in and around those people, sharing their optimism and sharing their humility. So for today, as the journey continues, as always, it's one life we have and a humble life we live. Ciao.